Okay, welcome back everyone. Time for another statue review, and this is a piece that probably doesn't need much introduction, but this is the Time Traveling Mutant from XM Studios, of course, Cable. Very highly anticipated release. This statue has a bit of a tumultuous history about it. It was originally supposed to come out a couple years ago or so, kind of on the heels of Magneto and Phoenix. People were really excited. Oh my god, Cable, you know, he's never really been done in this scale before. And then bam! Marvel, Fox have their fight over the X-Men. Marvel decides it'd be a great idea to put a stop to most X-Men collectibles, including this guy. So he was postponed indefinitely, but then kind of out of the blue one day, XM makes the big announcement. He's back in production, and a few months later he's sitting on my table ready for review, so let's not delay any longer. Here's the review, XM Studios Cable. So if you are a big fan of the intricate detail, textures and things on your sculpts, I think you're going to be a big fan of this one, because this is one of the best in that regard that I've seen. There's just so much to like about it. I mean, we can start with the mechanical arm. So much going on there, all kinds of conduits and plates and joints and things, everything kind of mashing together. Very cool look to that arm. It's very unique. Maybe not totally comic accurate, but it looks awesome nonetheless, so I think you can forgive that. All kinds of pouches and things, which is very reminiscent to the original look he had in the comics. He's a 90s character, so that meant pouches and things all over the place. Very cool, all kinds of straps. I really like the herringbone pattern on his sweater or his shirt. It looks really, really cool. Very unique, lifelike look to it. Obviously he's got these big jacked arms, and Cable in the comics is a huge dude, so nice to see that big arm with all the muscle detail and the veins and things. He looks really big and powerful. The portrait sculpt, kind of ironic that this is, when people criticize XM, especially early on, for face portraits, they say, no, XM can't do faces. This is, as I mentioned, actually one of their earlier sculpts. So this face was done quite a while ago, and it's really, really nice. I think it's one of their better ones out there, for sure. And as I said, I mean, there's so much going on with Cable, with all the, the shells and the bullet shells and casings all over, straps and buckles, two massive guns, and he's got a couple switch out arms I'll show you later on. He's standing on this, we're told this is part of a Sentinel, some kind of turbine, I guess, jetpack on a Sentinel. All kinds of circuitry and things mixed in there. Very, very cool statue, great sculpt. I think it's definitely one of the better ones XM's come out with. It's really, really cool. I think so much to like about it. Great, great sculpt. Okay, so you'll notice I switched up his right arm. So a couple different display options there for you. You can go arm down or obviously arm up. So two kind of unique display options for you. Alright, let's get into talking about the paint on this statue, and there's really not much for me to say. It's an excellent factory paint job. The only thing I maybe would like to have seen is maybe a little bit more fine detailing on the base, just to bring out some of the the really intricate circuitry and stuff that's there. It still looks cool, but you probably could have highlighted that a little bit more. Otherwise, Cable himself is excellent. All the pouches and straps and buckles and things are all very nice clean lines around that. I like the colors they used. The metallic finish on the arm looks really good. You can see there. I really like the skin tones they used on his human arm. There's a couple different tones used in there to bring out all the muscles and things. Nice vein work. The portrait's very well done. The scar on over the right eye is really nice, clean lines there. His cybernetic eye's got this gold color in there, and it kind of looks like the middle, the pupil is really lit up. Very cool paint job there. There's not much else I can say. It's an excellent job. Really, really happy with this paint job. I think you'll be happy too if you're lucky enough to get it. So moving on to the design of the statue, you'll notice I switched out his left arm this time around. So I call this the kill shot arm. So obviously pointing the gun at somebody in the distance there. You got 2 options for each arm, so 4 total different display options for you there. Now they've gone with a kind of more of a simple museum pose, the one leg up pose, which sometimes, you know, simple is best for some characters, and I think it works for Cable. It looks like he's calm, he's in control of the situation, which is very much how I think of Cable. So I think it works this time. You know, the base is a little bit smaller, but you got the Sentinel theme, which is consistent with the other X-Men that they've done, the Magneto, Jean Grey, and Wolverine, all standing on, you know, parts of a Sentinel, so he fits nicely with the rest of them. You know, the arm itself, they've gone with more of like a robotic look to it, which, you know, most times I see Cable or think of Cable, it's more of a metallic arm, kind of like a Colossus style, but this is an awesome job. They really did a nice job with this arm. You know, other than that, I mean, design-wise, I mean, the suit is very cool with all the pouches, as I mentioned. Very 90s feel to it, which is good for Cable, because that's when he debuted. You know, just really great job. I'm really happy with it. As I said, it's a simpler design, especially coming from XM, but totally works for the character, and I'm very pleased with the statue as a whole. So moving on to production and build quality for the statue. You're probably expecting me to say this, but it's a very high quality statue from XM. It's got a good weighty feel to it. Feels very high quality. The parts all fit together nice. Fairly easy assembly on this one. So what you got is, you know, the head is permanently attached to the body. So you got the head and the body all as one piece. The back right foot fits into the base with a peg there. This foot just kind of sits on top. Both arms fit in with a metal rod. I'll show you that. So fairly heavy metal rod there, and this just fits nicely into a hole. They slide into place like so. Nice secure fit there. The shoulder pad here with the shells is a separate piece and fits on with a magnet. And the knife handle is a separate piece. And then this fin here off the base is a separate piece as well. So not too many to worry about for you. But in case you do have any confusion, they do give you this assembly guide in the packaging. So it's got sort of step-by-step setup procedure. It's got the layout of the pieces in the box for you. And then you'll notice at the end, they've moved all of the product registration info to the end of the booklet. So you used to get an envelope with that information. It's now all here. So if you don't have an XM piece, there is a code on the bottom of the base. You can register for free at their website and register your products. And it's kind of neat. It tells you, number one, you can verify you have an authentic XM piece. Number two, it kind of shows you, who else in your country has that particular statue. So that's kind of neat to see. So I encourage you to do that. Otherwise, the statue is very, very high quality. The straps on the back here are actually fabric, which is good because I think they'd probably break if they weren't. So nice touch there. One bit of concern for people on the statue is the alignment of the eyes. If you do look, right down the barrel of this gun, you'll notice his eyes aren't totally looking the same direction. And I believe that is a Marvel directed thing there. He's allowed to have the guns, obviously, these giant weapons that could probably level a building or blow your head clean off, but he can't actually be looking where it's aiming. So kind of a weird rule, I think, from Marvel there, but the only time I notice it is when you look right down the barrel of the gun. If you any angle off that, and the eyes do look like they're aligned, so it's really a non-issue, at least for me. But just to bring it up for you guys, you also get print as you normally do with the 1/4 scale pieces from XM. It's a little bit of a different style of print this time around. It's got more of sort of a cell shaded look to it rather than the more realistic painting to it. So kind of a neat alternative this time around. But otherwise, not much to say. It's again, fantastic production quality from XM as you should expect. This is one of their premier pieces, so I think people will be really, really happy with this guy. Alright, we'll wrap up this review here. I've gone back to my personal favorite configuration on the arms. I kind of imagined him just surveying the battlefield here, all the destruction in the distance. So this is how I'm probably going to display mine. But Cable from XM Studios finally, thankfully, has seen the light of day after that temporary postponement. Great statue from XM Studios. Very popular character, long awaited by many collectors, and it just turned out fabulous. Very happy with this guy. I think you'll be happy with him too. I've got more reviews coming for you. XM has come hot and heavy with the releases early this year, so I do have another one waiting to do. So look out for that soon. I'll have more throughout the year that I'll bring you. This guy here turned out great. Cable from XM Studios. Hope you guys enjoyed the review, and we'll talk to you soon.